morning and welcome to the Legit Real Estate Podcast. I am TJ Ciolfi here as always with Holly Regoli. Holly, good morning.
Good morning.
You look lovely today, as always.
Thank you.
You're like close today. You're like right. It's like you're right here with me.
If I back
No,
up,
you
I
look
don't know if the
far.
microphone would work.
Not close, not far. No, you're fine. You're fine. Close is good. If you didn't look lovely, I'd say move the fuck back. But here we are.
We've got somebody
You
else
brought out a
on
guest
today
today.
that looks.
You
We've got.
you want to tell the people why there's like a surprise guest, because the surprise guest is because you didn't think I was going to show up this morning.
Yeah. So here's what I do is sometimes TJ blows me off, and I'll get our thing ready to go. Now we record every week at the same time, and sometimes he just doesn't show up. So
You know,
I texted him at 6 o'clock this morning, no response, and I happened to
is
be on
that
the
what
phone
time it
with
was?
lovely. It was 6 o'clock. Yep. I was like, I want to give him enough time to respond to me, or at least tell me he's seen the text. But I happened to be on the phone with lovely Gina Ranci this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Who also looks absolutely stunning this morning.
Thank you.
She is another agent that we work with at HomeSmart. She is wonderful. And I was like, hey, you know what? Just in case TJ blows me off this morning, do you want to join me? Because I have a really fun topic and I know that she deals with it. So welcome, Gina.
Thank you very much.
And we were happy that TJ showed up because I definitely want his commentary on this one.
TJ heard you had a guest and almost went right back to bed.
Yes, he did. But we got to get your commentary on this one. So last night, it's almost 10 o'clock at night, and I have a call coming in on my phone. Now, I took a rental. I don't normally take rentals, but this one's only like, it's very close to me. And it's something where I want to keep a good relationship with the owner of the property. It's a commercial property. At some point, if he wants to sell it, hey, I'm here. And plus it's in town. I like to keep connections in town. But with rentals, we get rental people. And they're not always the highest caliber of people. So I get a call coming in. I'm like, it's probably one of the renters. I didn't pick up. But then I look at my visual voicemail last night. And I'm going to read to you what my visual voicemail says. Okay. So it starts off with, she likes to get some, she gets good beef. She doesn't like the cheap plastic beast. No, welcome. You're welcome. No, yes. Well, let's say you fuck my phone. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I see this message and it goes on. And I go to get in bed last night. I tell my husband, I'm like, I got one of those creepy, nasty calls. Again, I'm like, I want to just listen to it because, voice to text doesn't always, I'm like, this is just, so I was like, you want to hear it? He's like, no, I don't want to hear that right before bed. So I was like, whatever. I didn't play it. I go to bed.
Want to give somebody it to his wife?
He's like, I don't want to listen to that shit. So I go to bed last night and I'm like, I got a stalker. What if this guy turns out to be, I listen to so much true crime. And lately I've been listening, some of my favorites, I've listened to all the Morbid episodes, like I'm done. So I started listening to this thing called Cult Leader, and he's hitting all the major, serial killers and stuff like that. So I've got all this in my head now. So I'm like, okay. So now when I go out to my car at night, I'm like, I need to make sure I have an extra light with me, and I got to have my pepper spray in my hand, and I better go get my concealed carry sooner than later. And I'm like going to bed with all this shit on my mind. So this morning I played the message, and I'm going to play it for you so that you can hear what it says. Put the volume way up. And I'm hoping that you can hear this on the microphone. Oh, hold on. Let me start it over. Hold on.
Yes, she don't like that cheap plastic piece. No, welcome.
Can you hear it?
Is that a child or a woman? It's not a man.
It's a woman. Someone butt dialed me. And we weren't even talking to me. They're having a conversation in the background. So my phone's got me scared to shit that somebody is like being all creepy and gross and nasty. And it was somebody that freaking butt dialed me. It must have been that they were calling on the apartment. And then you hear them, he's trying to give his email to send the email out. And I'm like, I am all paranoid for no reason. But there are reasons, because I have had issues where I've had people reach out and be creepy.
I can't picture a world in where like my wife or my sister would say that, whether she pocket dialed someone or not. There's no world where people talk like that. There's just no world.
Like I said, when you're dealing with renters and your
Yeah.
rent is under like $3,000 a month, you are dealing with
Certain
not
kind
the
of
highest.
individual.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's freaking wild. I mean, agent safety is a big deal these days. It is. There's wackos out there.
So it scared me. But that's not the first time I've had shit happen. Like now this is not to do with like somebody calling me to be like nasty or whatnot. But I had a time where before I jumped into the realtor world, like where I was helping people buy and sell homes, I was trying to do flips. So I was trying to get homes in the area that were abandoned. So I bought this list of homes that were supposed to be owned by people that didn't live there. And I target them. I send out a letter and I say, hey, if you're tired of paying taxes on a property you don't live in, having to deal with maintenance on it and stuff like that, I'd be happy to buy your house for cash, right? I get blown up on Facebook in my town because this lady got the letter and I guess she lives at the house and she was super offended that I sent her a letter. And she's like, this stupid realtor sent me this, blah, blah, blah. And she's going on and on. And so I apologized to her. I said, I'm sorry. The list that I got said that I was getting a list of homes
Just
that
said
people
no.
didn't live in. Huh?
Like, it's easy enough to ignore mail,
Right. But she got so bent out of shape. But it didn't just go there. I apologized. I explained to her that the list I got said that I got a list of people that didn't live in the homes. And I was just sending out letters because if somebody didn't live there and they were tired of paying taxes and maintenance, then I'd be happy to buy their house. Well, I started getting harassing phone calls all hours, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And it would be like a guy on the other line, like heavily breathing and all sorts of stuff. This particular person happened to either work at or own a bar in the area, a biker bar. So, or a place that a lot of bikers go in and stuff like that. So I linked it and I went down to the police station and I filed a police report. However, that person, I think, basically was warned they better cut it out because the police report just disappeared because I think they knew the cops. But I did have somebody else in town that I know that was like, hey, you need to chill out. This Holly's actually a really nice person. And it was no ill intent. And it stopped, but I literally got like all hours of the night calls with harassing men's voices, making noises and breathing. And it was so disgusting.
And it's super scary.
Yes. Your mind starts going to, shit, I'm being stalked. I can't leave the house. Now, Gina, I know you're so beautiful. You get stuff like this. I want to hear some of your stories.
Well, thank you so much, Holly. You're beautiful too, as you already know. But anyway, TJ, you're beautiful too.
She's gorgeous. I don't ever tell you you're gorgeous, TJ.
So that wouldn't be appropriate. I think that kind of compliment only needs to go in one direction.
Yeah, Pam would be like,
I don't think we can be on here telling each other how good looking we are, and then our spouses let us hang out once a week. I don't think that's
my husband
just keep it as it goes.
Recently. My husband referred to you recently as my work husband because we went to a party that my fear of you blowing me off has gotten bigger because not only have you blown me off for our podcast, but we had an event that we were supposed to go to. Not that you were supposed to go to with me, but you were supposed to be at, and everyone's like, even my husband turns to me, he's like, where's your work husband? I'm like, he's like, where's TJ? I'm like, I don't know. And I call TJ, or I text him. I'm like, why are you not here? He's like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. Where's here? And I'm like, the holiday party. He's like, I'm coaching basketball. He totally forgot, didn't show up.
I paid for her ticket. Now I have to pay like a no-show fee. It cost me $100 to not do anything. Anyway, Gina, tell us about your stalkers. Let's go. I'm sure there's one out there.
I actually have a couple of stories for you, but so I get calls. Well, let's do the calls. So I'll get calls, and being a realtor, we always get calls from people, and the numbers show up, and we have to answer all the calls because you just don't know who's calling. It might not be a repeat client. So someone is referred to you and a number shows up and you just don't know who they are. And you're like, okay, nice. I have a new call. So you answer and the person is like, hey. And they're like, how are you? And I'm like, hello? Are you looking for a real estate agent? Because I'm here to help you if you are. And I have, and I go right into what I have listed because now I'm like creeped out by this person. I'm trying to distract them. So, and they're like, I saw you on Facebook. And of course, what do? We're doing advertisements on Facebook. So you're like, oh my God, no. But this continued, and the guy was really like very vulgar on the phone. And he was like, the things I want to do to you and la la la. And I know where you live and this and that. And I'm like, oh my God. So but this continued. It wasn't just one call. Then he'll send text messages, but it's since stopped. But he sent text messages, and one time I was putting my daughter to sleep, and I had it on silent, but you can see the text messages coming through. And my daughter thought it was her father, so she picked up the phone to look at it, and it scared the crap out of her. And I was like, oh my God, geez. So not only does it affect us, but it affects like our family. And I have a state trooper friend that I brought all the recordings and the text messages to, and they did their research, and I think it was one of those robo phones, or the ones that you can kind of clone. So they said that it was coming from Virginia, and I'm like, okay, but so they couldn't do anything about it, but it has stopped since then. And that's just one crazy thing. Like, and they're vulgar. They're really graphically vulgar. And but that's one. And then there's the other one too. People will text you or DM you on Messenger, on Facebook. We run ads, commercials, things like that. So you're out in the public. I am licensed, as you know, in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. So I'll accept a friend, somebody who wants to friend me, and I'll check them out to see like what their page looks like. And I'll be like, my answer to them after I accept them, if they're Rhode Island, Massachusetts, I'll be like, hey, thanks for friending me. I'm not sure if how we know each other, but it's always great to make a new friend. If I'm a Rhode Island and Massachusetts realtor, if you're ever looking to buy or sell a home, give me a shout. And if you have any questions on real estate, I'm here for you. And then sometimes you'll get a text message back. Yeah, I'd like to meet you at a house.
And that's so freaking scary. Or sometimes you just reply with dick pics. Like, seriously.
You want to be on this morning to hear that word? Bless your heart. People are nuts, though. People have no shame when it comes to that. No shame. I have a sister who's single.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you don't understand. Like, you don't even know these people, and here come the pictures. Like, people just don't give a damn.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I've had it happen in a professional environment. I was a property manager, that, like, for almost 20 years, I was in commercial property management. One of the buildings that we had a security company that would deal with the access cards and the access points in the building. So if I had to call the office to put in a service request or and schedule them to come out, which we had to do a lot, or I needed new cards, all that kind of stuff, there was one guy that I would talk to in the office. And so we had on a first name basis, he was the person that I called all the time. It started to get a little weird. He started just sending me dick pics. And I'm like, this is not appropriate. I need to talk to you on a daily, like, not a daily basis, but I need to talk to you like for legitimate stuff, this is not okay. I go and I had to let my boss know too, because I'm like, this is, hey, like, just so you know, this is going on. And it was just the most awkward thing. And I had to block him because I had his cell phone number on my phone. I blocked him. I had another guy when I was really young and I first started in property management, and he owned a waterproofing company for windows. And I was dealing with him because he had leaks in the windows and he would come out and caulk them and stuff like that. And he started sending me, hey, I'd like to take you on a picnic, you know, and I'll get the wine. And he's married. And I'm like, what is up with this? And then I'm like only in my 20s. He starts sending me pictures of naked women with like body paint all over them. And again, I'm like, now I'm young and new. And I'm like, this is just, it's disgusting. Like, why? Like, I don't understand the mentality of these disgusting pigs.
I just wonder if that strategy has ever worked for anybody, anywhere, for any reason. Like, what are the odds? Like, to think I've got so much gain that I'm gonna fucking find this realtor off a sign. I'm gonna send her a picture, and then we're gonna build a lasting relationship together. Is that like something that people has that ever worked? Like I see realtor signs all the time. Never one was I like, this is a great opportunity to get a date. I don't think that makes sense.
They don't want a date. All these people just they want a sexual relationship.
Well,
they want
to go on a date to screw usually. I mean, what are the odds?
Oh, they don't want
to really escort. Do you have your pictures on your signs?
Oh,
yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to stop the random phone calls, put my picture on your sign. They will come.
I thought about actually putting my picture, like, they have the magnets on the side of the cars that have like your business information. Yeah. I had thought about doing that, but I'm like, that's just too creepy. Like, I don't want, like, what if somebody sees that, right? I go out in my car and they're just like waiting for me. Like, plus my husband drives my car and drives like an ass sometimes. And I didn't want people to call and think it was me. So.
No, but you don't want to, you don't want to come outside Home Depot and there's like some guy standing at your car because he knows what you look like and he's just waiting. Like, this broad's going to be here eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially where you live. I don't know where you live, Gina, but Holly lives in the middle of nowhere. Like, if someone stalks her and follows her to her house, no one's going to hear the screams. Like, it's like that.
Great. Thanks for inviting everybody that wants to stalk me to,
follow you home.
And she shows properties out there. Well, you can take this off the podcast, damn it. You can edit it out. But every now and then you show a property, like I've shown land and it's like the guy wants to walk to the boundary, 5 acres into the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't really know this guy like that.
I did that once and it was literally down a dirt road and there was no houses around. And I was meeting these people and it was a couple. One was from Pennsylvania, one was from New York, but they were a couple and they were looking to try to find property out here. And I was like, I had never met them before. And I was like, shit. I'm like the thickness of the area. I actually brought my brush chaps that goes over your pants so that you don't get briars and stuff. And I had my pepper spray, but I'm like, what is that going to do? I'm like, I was just like, this is so stupid. I don't know these people. I kept them in front of me. I was like, I'll stay behind you guys. But I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, it was, I think about it back after and I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah. So I had one time when I was in, I had this house for sale and it was in Foster and it was a gorgeous colonial. And I mean, it was gorgeous. And it was like 2,400 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. And the basement was like a walkout. And I was doing an open house in there. And I basically, like, there were entrances everywhere. There's an entrance in the basement. There was a garage that led to the basement. There was a door that not only the garage doors, but there was a door in the basement. So there were 4 exits just in the basement. And I made sure they were all locked. And then upstairs on the main level, you had the front door and you had sliding glass doors. And on the 3rd floor, there wasn't an entrance. But so you have like, what's that? 6? Like,
it's a lot.
like five entrances, right? And I was trying to control it. And I had a loan officer with me, but then the loan officer had to leave. And so, we always buddy up. You guys know that, we try to make sure that there's somebody there with us. And this particular time, he had to leave like an hour early. And then, so I'm having groups of people come in and I'm walking them through. And I literally be like, okay, one group at a time, this and that. And then I forgot to like relock the front door after I let someone out, and there wasn't anybody else left in there. And this one guy had come in with the group and he's like, hey, I just want to leave you my card. I'm from Connecticut, and I do pictures, aerial pictures with my what's it called, a droid, right? So I want to leave that for you because I think I could really show this property off really nicely. I said, oh, thank you very much. I'll definitely keep you. I'll be in touch with you soon. And so another group of people, and then he leaves. Then another group of people come in, and I'm going around and I'm bringing them through. And then next thing I know, I say, thank you very much for coming in. And I let them out. And then he had come in and he had been in one of the rooms, and I was writing down some notes on some people that came in, and I look up and I was like, oh there he is. There he is. I was like, oh my God. Like, oh, hi. What are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I didn't know if I left you my card. And I'm like, oh, you did. Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
I assume you guys don't go like in basements and shit, right?
So
I follow people down.
Yes.
Do you? I don't think you guys should. I don't even go in basements. I just don't. There's only one way out usually.
Yeah.
Like, what am I down there to do? Point out where the boiler is, or tell them which one's the washer and which one's the dryer? Like, why am I there? So, I mean, if I'm with the buyer, it's different. But I'm at an open house or something with a bunch of unknowns. I'm hanging out like in the kitchen. Like, you guys can go kill each other downstairs for all I care. I'm not going down there.
Yeah,
that's kind of my thought.
So when I go into vacant houses, like if I'm looking at a house that I'm looking at rehabbing, if I'm alone, I'll kind of go down the stairs a little bit and I'll use like my light and I'll try to see what I can get with my camera and my phone, but I don't like going into basements like if I'm completely home, I'm completely alone at a vacant house. And I went to a house at one point that my client was supposed to meet me, and he blew me off. I'm really great at getting blown off by people. And I was like, well, let me just go in and do a video with you for it. And I get in there and there's freaking someone in the basement. Now it was a contractor doing work is what he said. And I start going in and I'm like, I hear noises. I'm like, hello? I'm like, is there someone down there? And it was a guy with this big, deep voice. He's like, yeah, I'm just fixing the ceiling or whatever. He's like, you can come down here if you want. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm like,
you can come down. Yeah, I'm all set.
Nope. It's scary.
It is scary, especially when they take you by surprise and then they have this big barley voice and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
It's crazy because part of the job is like getting exposure and being everywhere and having your phone number available. Like, when I was little, I think we had like an unlisted phone number. Like, no one wanted anyone to know your phone number unless you like knew them. And now it's like, shit, you can put my phone number anywhere you want to. More calls the merrier. But with that comes, oh, you want to go look at this house in Burrville and make sure you're alone. Like, no bueno.
It's scary. It's scary and people are gross. Have you had any other stories that stand out to you, Gina?
I could just all I could tell you is after that creepy guy at my foster house, I took karate with my daughter. I am hence now a purple belt.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I actually was just looking, one of my friends is actually teaching, I think it's called like the Utah, it's either 10 or 13 states that you get your conceal carry in, but it's actually this weekend and I'm going to be away this weekend. So I can't take it, but I said, let me know when you teach the next one, because I really want to get my conceal carry. I need to go shooting so I can make sure I can hit something, but I've only shot a handgun like once, but I want to, people are freaking scary. And not even just the people that are scary, but going on to the reactions that you get from people, and maybe TJ's done this before and pissed people off, right? I remember calling a realtor because I was looking to try to buy this house, actually in Foster, that I wanted to flip. And it needed a lot of work. And there happened to be a new house that was being built on the road, and the realtor had her sign out there. So I called her and I said, you know, I see that you have you're representing a builder that's building on this particular road, and I actually have a property I'm trying to buy to flip the property, and I need a contractor. I said, would you be willing to give me your contractor's information? It might be helpful for him because he's like right there on the same road. She flipped out on me and she's like, you're going to try to steal my contractor. This is against the ethics and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I was just looking for somebody to do work at a property on the same street that they're already doing work there. She called my broker at the time and reported me to my broker for trying to poach her client.
No, that's not against the code of ethics. You're asking him to do work. You're not asking him to take a listing.
Yeah, and it's not like I tried to backdoor it and call him directly. I called her and said, hey, I noticed you have a contractor building a house on the same street that I want to flip a house on. Can I have his information to see if he's willing to do the work? She reported me to my broker because she said I was trying to take the client.
I never
got trying to take the contractor.
No, I wanted somebody to do work, but she thought I was trying to get all his new build listings.
No,
I was a realtor at the time. I was a realtor, but only to sell my own flips. I wasn't doing that full time. I didn't want to help people buy and sell houses. I wanted to just sell my own. People are nuts.
They are nuts.
Who have you pissed off, TJ? Who's harassed you?
You know, I used to send out mailers to houses, basically dead people. So usually the houses were vacant. I would always check to see if they were listed or had sold recently, because I don't want to waste my time more than 50 cents or whatever it is now. It's probably $1 for postage.
75 cents,
yeah,
I think.
75 cents, I think.
It was my first few months in the business. This is the first way I started getting traction. And of course, I sent a mailer to something that was listed because I wasn't checking multifamilies. I was only checking singles. And it turns out this guy had a 2-family, and his agent called me just ballistic for soliciting her client. It's like, I don't know what to tell you, honey. It's like, I didn't check. I don't respond well to that kind of shit. I don't really care that much. But people get overly sensitive. I think I'm curious to know whether you guys ever get to stay with today's topic. Do other realtors ever creep you out?
Do any other realtors try to pick you up?
Creep you out.
I was just going to tell you, I had an instance where I was showing a property with my clients, and this guy was was making it very obvious to make a pass at me, and he's like, hey, do you want to go and talk about this after the showing? And I'm like, no thanks. At this moment, I'd have to talk with my clients to see if they're going to make an offer. I'm like, and the guy's like, yeah, so what are you doing next Friday night? I'm like, yeah, well, I have a boyfriend, but thanks for asking. Anyway, when we left the house, my clients were like, Gina, what the heck just happened in there? I was like, oh, yeah, well, it happens, and for your clients to actually say, what the hell just happened in there? That was crazy.
Yeah, did you end up putting an offer on the house?
We did.
Did yours get accepted?
No, it didn't.
Well, this is why, you could have let him on a little bit. You gotta do things for your clients.
No, I've had clients.
I'll tell you what though, that strategy for realtors, that has to work though, because if you'll notice, there are a pretty good percentage of realtors that are married to other realtors. So somewhere along the way, that strategy must have worked of like, I'm going to hit on this lady on the other side of the transaction.
I think it's that they've roped their spouse into it and they're like, this business is great. I need help. You know, why don't you quit your job because you hate it and come work with me? I've seen that happen a lot.
That could be, yeah.
I haven't had other realtors creep me out, but some of my clients have.
Oh.
I've had clients that have made off comments and like, I mean, maybe not so much at me, but like they kind of test it a little bit. And then I'm like, I mean, and I've had there was one last year, the year before, and he was very like off the wall. And it's like the other realtor I was dealing with, that was buying the house, he's like, I've learned, he's like, sometimes you have to call people before a certain time of day before they start drinking too much. And I was like, you know what? That makes sense. He was pissed because the person buying the house wanted to do a walkthrough. And he's like, you ruined my date night. And he sends me a picture of like Patron and glasses and puffs in his shower. And I'm like, that's not, appropriate to be telling me. Like, that's.
People are bold, man. People are bold.
They are. Or I've had clients make comments like, oh, you're too pretty for this or that. And granted, I'm not one that's like, oh my God, I'm pretty. I'm like, I try to make myself presentable, but like you just get like those comments and I'm just like, those are just not appropriate.
Wait a minute. That's how I start every legit real estate podcast.
TJ, you're so creepy.
Every fucking one. This whole time you're like, this, what a scumbag. I gotta find something new to say to lead the show.
No. The way they say it, you have a routine of complimenting.
Oh, gracious.
Yeah,
you're not creepy, TJ. If you were creepy, we wouldn't have.
A year full of freaking shows. We sit together and everything. No, creeped out. Just totally creeped out.
Yeah, no, you're not creepy. I'd tell you if you're creepy. I'd block you.
I'll tell you where you find that though. In like young offices, like. We work in a professional setting in our office. Like it's almost more like a bank. Like it's not that it's like super corporate, but you would know that you would be out of line if you were at work, like hitting on girls. Like it's just not a place you would do that. But yeah. I've been at other brokerages where like the little office team is showing up to be like, they're showing up to hook up. Like that's what they're doing. I worked at a mortgage company. I worked at a mortgage company when I was young. They're now out of business, but I mean, the whole point of that place was to like go there and hook up. Like that's what we did. We didn't even sell a fucking mortgage. We were just going there to hook up.
Jeez, but yeah. So I worked at a mortgage company too, and to bring up a topic that actually. Bring us back to the topic that you had mentioned before, husbands and wives getting together and both of them being realtors, right? So my husband was a loan officer, and then he was an account executive, and then he met me as a loan officer when he was account executive, and then I became an account executive, and then 2008 came and everybody lost their jobs. But anyway, we got married and he got his real estate license, and he was like, hey, honey, I think you really need to do this. You'd be great at it. And so that's how my career started off. It was, he pulled me into it. Like, you got to do this.
Hooking up at work, violating company policy. I don't know what the limitations are on that.
It happens.
It happens. I worked at a college. It was the same thing. Like people, you would see the people and be like, "Oh, Mr. and Mrs." You look in the directory and you look for, Mr. Green, and it's Mr. and Mrs. Green, and Mr. and Mrs. this, and Mr. and Mrs. that.
My son actually has one of his teachers is married to another one of his teachers.
Oh wow.
And so they must have met at work. I mean, that's cute. They're a young couple. What's not cute is that, and TJ, I mean, this was all over the news, was the teacher at Pano that was just recently, facing charges for kids.
That's my girl, I know her.
You almost sold their house, right?
Yes, that's my girl. And I knew the kid too. I went to high school with his father. So congratulations to him. He's popular for the rest of his life.
He'll be popular for the rest of his life, and she ruined her life with her family. That is terrible.
What a fucking,
what a mess.
I can't believe that kind of stuff. But that's what happens in those backwood towns, up there in Pontigancy.
I asked my son, I'm like, did you think she was pretty? He's like, what did I think? She got a nice butt, but her face. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, these kids, they're checking like, if you're a young teacher, right? My husband, when he first started teaching, it was crazy. The girls would like make comments to him all the time, and he would do private lessons with some of the kids. And I'm like, you got to be careful, because all it takes is for one of the kids to say something that like, because they want you, but you're married and you're a teacher and you're professional, and they could just screw something up. He had one girl that used to take her money out of her bra and give it to him. And I'm like, that's not okay. Like, they don't know, but when you're a young teacher.
My English teacher, when I was in 8th grade, swear to God, that woman like hit on me, right? She would sit on my desk. Like, that's where she would teach the class in her spandex from my desk. And she was a young teacher. Like obviously older than us, but say I'm 13, she's 24, right? So, I always thought
simply irresistible, TJ.
Listen, she married someone from my fucking class, like from my grade. So
my God,
I'm still friends with her, and like I asked her, I'm like, did I have a shot when I was in high school? No, I was like, would I have had a shot in high school? And she was like, probably. I sold her parents' house. Yeah.
You sold her.
It was crazy because I always felt like, I'm like, why she always sits on my desk? And I wasn't I was a good student, but not like teacher's pet in any class except hers. And yeah, she married a kid in my grade. They've been married for like 25 years too.
That is nuts. I remember having like this really hot gym teacher. Like, you have teachers you have crushes on, right? But that's so freaking inappropriate. Like, that's awful.
Yeah.
I didn't have good looking teachers in high school. Nah.
No, I had some
high school
ones. I had some very good looking ones. But then there was a teacher from my middle school that ended up getting in trouble because he was having a relationship with a 12 or 13-year-old girl.
Crazy.
Wow. Yeah. Yep.
But there was a gym teacher. There was a gym teacher at our school. And the rumor was that he would wait outside graduation. Like, he was shopped for 4 years, and then after graduation, like, everybody had to date him. And he did quite well for himself in that regard, I'm told, from other teachers. Like, he was pretty solid method.
That's terrible. No, the one at Pano, there's pictures of her posing with these students at the freaking proms and dances. Like, not like, how does the school freaking let that happen?
Unions are strong, my dear. It is 10 o'clock. You tell the people where we can find us. They can find us.
Actually, before I do that, Gina, can you tell people where they want to find you, but not to stalk you for real estate stuff?
Which, we want your home address. We're looking for your home address right now, and what time your husband leaves for work.
Right. You can, I'm Gina Ranci with Home Smart Professionals, and you can check me out on Facebook at Gina Ranci Sells Real Estate, and you can reach me at Home Smart, and the phone number is 401-864-1698.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming on. I think this was fun to talk about the creepy stuff. We are the Legit Real Estate Podcast. I'm having trouble with some technical things right now because I lost my Facebook, but I think our Facebook page still exists, though our Instagram has been suspended too, all because my son lied about his age on his Instagram. So I am in a social media hole right now that I'm trying to fix. But we are on TikTok, and we'll be hopefully back on Instagram. I think we still have a Facebook page, but we are also on Spotify and Amazon and pretty much everywhere else you can find podcasts. And also YouTube, if you want to see what, our facial expressions are when we say these shocking, wonderful things. So please like, subscribe. And if you want to send in stories, we really want stories. If you want to come onto the show, you can email us at thelegitrealestatepodcast@gmail.com. You guys have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, ladies. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.